Hi, I'm Philip from Commando Kennels, and I wanted to tell you a bit about why we are so driven and passionate to teach people how to find solutions to train their dogs to get better behavior through positive reinforcement. So as you know, Commando Kennels has been in the business of dog training for more than 35 years now. And it started by my father, and I joined him as a kid, and then later on I took it as a full-time work. And we trained many dogs, and we made many champions in obedience. We gave lots of demonstrations of dog sports, and we really excelled in the dog training field. We still are excelling in the dog training field. But the initial years of our excellence, those dogs who won with us, and those dogs which really got us a lot of name and fame. If you go to our website and click on the achievements page, you will see a list of dogs whom we are very, very proud of. And those days they weren't the selfies and stuff, but people used to line up to take photos with our dog, saying, "We love you. Oh, your dog has come to the dog. Oh, Minnie has come to the showground. Oh, Striker has entered the showground." And it would create a buzz when you enter a place, and people would come there to take photos with them. It was all exciting, and for us as trainers and for the dogs also, we used to see them enjoying themselves and stuff. But the fact is that back then we used to use force for training. And this force wasn't, wasn't some sort of, in our head, it was not unreasonable force. It is what, people call these days balanced training. We also thought we were being very reasonable to the dog. You tell him, let's say, for example, you tell him to sit 50 times, and if he still doesn't get it, then he needs to be given a correction. Otherwise, he's trying to show me who the boss is, or he's trying to, be stubborn or be adamant. And this sort of, contrived, wrong thinking back in the days we had. And to get rid of any sort of disobedience, we would give the dog a correction, and the dog would know, okay, when boss says sit, it means sit. And the problem with that, now we realize, is that it's like being in an abusive relationship for the dog. Imagine you're with the person you love the most in the world, and occasionally that person turns around and gives you a whack. It's not the best feeling, isn't it? And that's exactly what our dogs were going through. And it is not just about the animal welfare part of it. We realized that the training techniques we used itself were obsolete. It was not needed for us to use any correction. We realized that today. And the biggest impact, and the one that really pains our heart, is that those dogs lived shorter lives. We actually, through correction and through using any sort of force, put the dog into stress, which releases stress hormones in the body, which eats into the dog's organs and systems. I don't know the science of it, but I do know this, that when we used to use force, our dogs used to live almost 3 to 4 years shorter than when we stopped using force to get results. And that really pains me, because those dogs were stars, and they were willing to give their lives for us, and we thought we were doing the best thing for them back then. And now we realize that we were so wrong. We were so wrong in using those methods to train those dogs back then. And it's just sad that due to our lack of information, we literally cut down their lives by a few years. I mean, it's not a joke. It's like shooting a dog as bad as that. A dog which is willing to give their life for you, you turn around and shoot him 4 years before he's supposed to die. It's as bad as that, and that really hurts us, and it pains us a lot. So when we have learned how positive reinforcement is able to give us the same results and better results than what we were getting with our old training techniques, we just think we owe it to the world to let them know that this is the way to train. And that because we have this history of having got results through correction based methods, we feel we are in the right space to convince people who use correction based methods to tell them that, see, you're wrong, because we know what you're doing, and we were doing that. And we have all the more, we are better placed to give them the information, because we know what they're doing, and we can tell them where the problems are, because we have used those techniques. And that is what really drives us. So while Commando Kennels, by God's grace, does a lot of other things, we are into canine security services, and we do a lot of detection dogs and guard dogs and stuff. And we have got around 300 employees and teams. The core management, that's me, my dad, the ones who run who are the trainers behind the show, our driving force is to train people to stop using correction. And we have a mission to make 100,000, that's 1 lakh positive reinforcement dog trainers, to train them by myself. Through me, directly through me, I want to train 100,000 positive reinforcement dog trainers in India. That's my goal. Because I know when these trainers go out and train 100 or 1,000 dogs in their lifetime, we are going to impact the lives of 1 crore dogs who are going to get trained only through positive reinforcement. That brings me joy. That drives me. Okay, whatever we did, whatever happened is the past. We did whatever wrong to our dogs. It's very sad, but it's done. It's it's that we cannot undo that, but we can definitely make up for it by influencing and the lives of another 1 crore dogs in the years to come. And that's the goal, and that's what drives me. And that is why day and night I'm trying to motivate people to come to our courses and join us and learn, and getting the best international trainers from all over the world and offering it in India at half, 1/4 the price, sometimes even lesser than that. It's because this is what drives us. We don't want someone else to make the mistakes we made. I know the journey of every trainer. I have been through the journey. I know how it is, how I have gone from pillar to post, from country to country across the globe, trying to find the right way to, train the dog. And that journey initially, when people don't want to tell you how they're training and they're trying to hide from you, and you're trying to learn from them, and you're seeing videos and you're self-training yourself, wanting to train through positive reinforcement, everybody wants. We weren't bad people when we were using correction. We weren't bad people back then. We wanted to get results, and we loved our dogs. But when you don't know how to use positive reinforcement, you get frustrated because you don't get the results the way you would get if you use correction. And without the knowledge of how to use positive reinforcement, that frustration leads to again you taking out the frustration on the dog. It comes out in some way or the other. And then you do that to the dog, you go back into the world where you have just come from. So that's the reason why we want to teach people. Not only do we want to teach you and tell people that positive reinforcement is the way to train, we want to tell you how to use positive reinforcement to train. This is what drives us, and this is what I wanted to share with you today. Thank you so much.